So, my female sisters, I want to talk to you about why we become obsessed with men more than actually men become obsessed with women. I'll share my personal story from one of the classes that I was teaching and some illustrations from novels and films. And we'll discuss how biological, psychological, and cultural factors affect us being obsessed and getting obsessed with men. I'm Dr. Alena Prihitika, and I'm a therapist and researcher. And for the last more than 25 years, I've been working with people helping to heal trauma, to cope with emotions. And now here on my channel, I'm talking about topics that interest me, and many of the things I share, I tried on myself. So stay with me, share, subscribe. Let's begin. So when a woman becomes obsessed with a man, thinking about him every minute, checking his social media 100 times a day, replaying conversations in her mind, it can feel all-consuming. It may feel like love or destiny or a sign that he's the one. But more often than not, this obsession is not about love. It's about an activated attachment wound, trauma response, neurological addiction to validation, or fantasy that replaces emotional emptiness. And understanding this is the first step to taking your power back. So why does obsession happen? Let's break it down through psychology, emotional trauma, and a little bit of neuroscience. So number one, it's not about him. It's about what he represents. When you're obsessed with someone, you're protecting emotional needs into them. They become symbol of everything you crave. To be seen, to be chosen, to feel alive, to feel safe. In Wuthering Heights, Catherine says, I am Heathcliff. He wasn't a partner. He was her mirror, her wildness, her wound. So you're not in love with him. You're in love with the version of yourself you hope you'll become when he loves you back. Number two, obsession is a trauma response. Let me tell you a story. So when I was teaching a class on substance abuse, we had a guest speaker, a man in recovery from hardcore drug use. He'd done all drugs possible. And I'll never forget what he told the class. He said, you know, that everyone in recovery group I've been in had in common. They were all traumatized. And after deep trauma, people do one of the three things. They start doing drugs, they start drinking, or they fall in love. He said falling in love in the same breath as addiction, not because love is toxic, but because when you're deeply traumatized, love becomes a drug. You're not falling in love. You're trying to feel something, escape something, belong somewhere. So obsession equals, in a way, dopamine addiction. So when this man texts, smiles at you, like your post, you get a dopamine spike. When he's distant, you crash. You're not chasing him. You're chasing the high. Like any addiction, the body starts depending on the small, inconsistent hits of reward. It might be a soul connection, but it might also be a chemical loop. Just like you remember Carrie and Mr. Big, the drama isn't romance, it's dysregulation. So number four is that obsession fills a void. Often we obsess over people when there's deep emotional hunger inside us. Hunger for meaning, hunger for connection, hunger for identity. In The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby isn't in love with Daisy. He's obsessed with the idea of her, what she represents, and belonging, status, fantasy. So that's what obsession is. It's longing disguised as love. So what helps? Here's how to shift from spiraling obsession to grounded self-connection. Number one, as I always say, name the pattern. Say it out loud. This is my attachment wound. This is emotional hunger, not a soulmate. Why it works? This activates your prefrontal cortex and interrupts the emotional flood. Naming brings awareness, which is the first step. Number two, ask, what am I really needing? What emotion am I avoiding? What need am I trying to outsource to him? What part of me feels unworthy without his attention? You may find interesting things. Maybe you're craving validation, or you're terrified of abandonment, or you're bored, numb, or lonely. So why it works? Because it brings your focus back to yourself instead of spinning around someone else. Number three, create cognitive and emotional distance. Yes, block, mute. Stop rereading texts. Don't check one last time, even if it hurts. It works because obsession survives in reinforcement. Distance is your dopamine detox. It hurts and then it starts healing. 4, replace fantasy with reality. Write 2 lists. Number 1, what I fantasize about this man. Number 2, what is actually true about him and how he treats me. So you'll likely find the gap between dream and fact. And this gap might be huge. Like Gatsby, you're not in love with them. You're in love with the idealized version of them. Number 5, rebuild self-worth through embodied action. Do things that ground you in yourself. Move your body, learn something, create something, show up for small routines. Why it works? Because each action sends your nervous system a new message. I exist outside of him. You are reactivating your agency, not your anxiety. Number 6, heal the deeper wound. Therapy, EMDR, internal family systems, this help you unravel why you keep obsessing. Often it ties back to childhood, emotional neglect, inconsistent love, feeling you had to earn love. Because, well, you're not needy, you're wounded. And you're looking for regulation through someone else. Why is this mostly women's experience? Many women ask, why am I falling apart while he's fine? Why do I obsess while he moves on? So here's why. Well, number 1 is biology. We women have a more active default mode network, which means we ruminate more. We also release more oxytocin during intimacy, creating stronger emotional bonds. Men may connect physically, but women often bond neurologically and emotionally much faster and deeper. Differences in emotional socialization. We are raised to be relational, get worth from being chosen, prioritize love over self. And men are raised to suppress emotion, avoid vulnerability, and perform achievement. So after a breakup, women tend to internalize what's wrong with me. Men tend to externalize what's next, or she's not okay, So our grief timelines are different. We women often grieve immediately. Men often grieve later, if at all. So a woman will fall apart early because she's emotionally brave. A man may look fine, but he's emotionally avoidant, repressed, or detached. So the truth is that you're not weak because you're obsessed. You're not broken because you still care. You're not behind because he's already dating again. You are processing, you are feeling, and you are healing. But now it's your time to shift the spotlight. Obsession is your nervous system crying out for safety. And healing starts when you stop chasing someone else and start coming home to yourself. You're not too much, you're not crazy, you're not late. You're a woman waking up from a dream, remembering who the hell she is.